Welcome. This will be the first of our sessions on mathematics. And math, we say language for lazy people. Yes, you heard it right. We call it as language for lazy people. We will be going through in the following videos, one or more set of videos. We will be approaching or introducing these concept of numbers, operators, geometry, trigonometry, and algebra from the evolutionary perspective. Okay, and also main thing is like initially math will seem a little intimidating for some of us. Like I'm one of them. I was one of them, and over a period, I realized math has to be approached from a slightly different perspective. So after going through the academic books, the science history, starting from Thales, Euclid, Archimedes, Da Vinci, and like through the years, I realized the end of the day, mathematics is a beautiful communication language where we can communicate our experience in the shortest possible form. For example, let's say energy as a word. Each of us think energy, we will try to describe energy in sentences. Say mechanical energy, electrical energy, solar energy, like that. So we will try to explain in words, like right now I used English. But this is one which was beautifully defined by uh, Sir Albert Einstein, and it's just made of a few symbols. Okay, so explaining what is seemingly complex or difficult concept in symbols is what we understand as mathematics. So in this journey or a set of videos, we will be taking you through step by step so that we don't get intimidated when we see something like v is equal to d by t, what it means, a is equal to v minus u by t. All of these things may look very complex, but once we go through the evolution of how the numbers evolve, how the operators involved, and the geometry and all that, so we may be able to like appreciate mathematics as the shortest possible communication language. One more example I would like to give here is like F is equal to ma, just symbols. But for people who have gone through this, they will know F represents mass, which we have to build it up in our mind. This is equal to symbol. Then mass times acceleration. This is one way of representing force. This is same mathematical symbols. This is another way of representing the same force as dp by dt in the differential form. So here I have put one subscript here, Fs, which means force can be generated by a spring also, which means k into x. What is k, what is x, we have to understand. Similarly, there can be a gravitational force, which has some formula like this. All that we have to understand is what g means, m1, m2, and r and the square means. So here again, it's another force, like where we saw this a spring force, this is an spring force, this is an inertial force, the gravitational force, this is an electric force. Electric force also has some symbols. So just by seeing the symbol, how do we understand what it really means? So that's what we will be exploring through this set of videos. And one beautiful thing, why we say it's the shortest possible way of representing some of our experiences, all of these are dependent upon only 3 parameters. Everything, all of the physical or experiential phenomena which we experience on this earth as living beings are simplified and presented based on only these 3 parameters. One is space, another is time as in a clock, and another is mass. And of course, there is another side of the coin. Either you can say mass or you can use the word energy. So this energy is the one which is representing E here, which has an equivalence to mass. Okay. There is another way of representing energy also in the quantum world, which is HF. H represents Planck's constant, F represents frequency. So energy again can be understood from different perspectives. So this is the energy in relation to mass. This is the energy in relation to quantum world. This is the kinetic energy where M is involved. So this is the classical inertial or gravitational world. So these are the things we'll be trying to explain through this set of videos from the evolutionary perspective. And I wish to introduce this as well. These are some very beautiful symbols where like the nature is embedded with. There is a symbol called phi, there is something called as E, and there is something called as I. Okay, all of them there is one beautiful relation, e power I phi equal to -1. This is another Eulerian equation where like all these three things are combined and somehow it becomes -1. So we'll be touching upon as we go one by one. So it's just like mathematics can be admired for its simplicity because of all this, so many things, so many books, so many years of learning, so many different types of energies which we come about, like gravity, electricity, magnetism, light, sound, heat, nuclear. All of them are described only using these three parameters: space, time, and mass or energy, as we already discussed, like it's just other side of the coin. So let's go step by step. We will be first going through these things in this order from the evolutionary perspective. Let's say documented English history goes from 650 BC, starting from Thales. And I'll also be using my own imagination. Some of them might be from textbooks, some of them may be my own examples. But overall, the idea is to spin a story and then present the whole concepts in the shortest possible time, and it's an attempt to make it simple. It's just an attempt. One word I want to emphasize is, in this whole sessions, we will not be doing an academic perspective of it, but more we'll be emphasizing on how to approach learning mathematics so that it becomes simple.